How you doing, everybody? Today we're going to be answering the question, what trucks you should buy. My name is Nestor and I've owned auto repair shops since 2014, so a long time, and I am a master technician, so I know what I'm doing when it comes to cars, and I see these things all the time, so I know exactly what kind of trucks you should buy, depending on what you're using it for. That also does play a factor in it. But make sure you guys hit the like button before we start. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. It gets this video out to more people. And if nothing else, if you guys can just do that real quick, it takes no time and it's free. So please do that for me. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'll be happy to answer them for you. So let's get into it. What trucks you should buy? The first truck you should buy, I think, is a Chevy. Chevys are great trucks, not only because of everything that all the packages and all the good stuff that comes with Chevys, but they're actually very reliable. All the problems that Chevys have are very common and are easy to fix. Well, easy to me because I'm a mechanic, but they aren't that expensive compared to other engines and other cars that have different types of motors and transmissions and stuff like that. So I think Chevys are my top brand. Those are the ones that I like the most because they're so versatile. They can carry a lot of stuff, they can tow, they're very reliable, and the price to repair them isn't very much money. The parts that we do have to replace on these cars are very easy to get to, and they're very common. So as a mechanic, I love working on Chevys because I know what I'm getting myself into right away. The biggest problem that I see with Chevys is that sometimes the lifters will collapse and will cause a misfire, and you have to pull off the cylinder head to be able to replace that the lifter and put the head back on, and then everything's good to go. That is one of the major repairs that I see on Chevys. Besides that, I do see some suspension issues with like ball joints and stuff like that, but generally the trucks are pretty good. And even though these repairs, those are the major repairs, they'll cost you between $800 and $1,200 to do that repair. Everything else on that truck, is fairly cheap. Everything else, like hoses, the heater hoses go bad, knock sensors go bad on the older ones. Radiators crack sometimes, the tensioner on the AC sometimes go bad, like master airflow sensors go bad, fuel pumps go bad sometimes, some suspension components really, but for the most part everything's pretty cheap. So a cost like the repair of that truck is probably going to be under $800 for sure every year, and that's if the truck has over 150,000 miles. Anything under 150, you're pretty good. Like, you're not going to be spending anything anywhere near $800. You're going to be spending maybe $400 a year to repair this vehicle, especially if you're driving less than 5,000, 10,000 miles a year. You should be pretty good. So Chevys are my top pick just because of the versatility. They're easy to repair. I love working on them, and I don't really like working on very many trucks, but I love working on Chevys just because I know what I'm getting myself into. Every repair I have is very easy to repair, and there's a lot of information out there for you guys that like Chevys. If you do want to do your own repairs, there's a plethora of information on the internet for you to be able to source and help get you through any repair that you have. I've made hundreds of videos on Chevys on how to repair them, so even my YouTube channel has a lot of information on how to repair Chevys. So it's very easy to repair, very backyard mechanic friendly because there's a lot of information out there for them. There's a lot of people that love Chevy, so there's a lot of support. The engines are actually designed off the original 350. Obviously they've changed, but the original idea is still there. And they're just great trucks. They just last for a long time, so long as you take care of them. And the other thing too is that the resale value is really good. That's another thing I forgot to mention. The resale value on Chevys is very good. So if you want to sell your truck after you've driven it, you can get a lot of your money back, and you're not going to be upside down on it. So it's a pretty good investment, especially if you buy it used with low miles. You're going to be pretty happy when you resell it. So I recommend that you pick up a Chevy and you do your thing with it, and then you resell it and you get a lot of your money back because the repairs are cheap, really good resale value. They're actually very versatile, and there's a lot of support out there for them, and that's my criteria for wanting a truck like that. The second truck that I recommend that you guys get is a Ford F-150. I know there's going to be a lot of people out here saying, Nestor, how can you go from a Chevy to a Ford? Well, guys, I like Fords because, again, they're easy to repair, good resale value, versatile, and I like working on them. Now, I know the EcoBoost do have a few issues here and there, but it's like any other car. They're all going to have issues because manufacturers design these vehicles to break down so that they can bring them into their repair facilities and make money off of you. So they're all going to have issues, guys, but we're trying to minimize it, and we're looking at the bigger picture, which is resale value, versatility, and if they're easy to work on. And Ford checks off all those boxes because there's a lot of people out there that have Fords that do a lot of modifications to them, that repair them. So there's a lot of information on the internet for those vehicles. And Ford and Chevy really do help a lot of the independent shops by giving us a lot of information on those trucks. So it's very easy to diagnose, they're easy to repair, and you can find YouTube videos for pretty much any repair that you need to do on a Ford. So I really recommend that you guys pick up a Ford if you do want to go that route. The only problem with them is that they are EcoBoost, they're like a different engine now, but even then, they're really, really good trucks. And the resale value on those are very, very good as well. The maintenance costs on those are going to be between $600 and $900, a little bit higher than the Chevy, but still pretty decent, especially if you're saving up every single month for that repair bill. You should be okay. Okay, so those are my top 2 picks on trucks that you should get. I love Chevys, like I said, for the reasons that I mentioned. I love Fords for the same reason I mentioned. I think Chevys resell a little bit better than Fords, to be honest with you, because there's more people that like Chevys. They do more things with them as far as like aftermarket stuff, which is another reason why they resell so well, is because the people that like Chevys will buy them used and then still drive them because they know how to work on them. They know they're gonna get a good life out of them, and even then they can still resell them for really, really good value, even if they go into the 200,000 mile mark, mile mark. So I like those trucks. Great trucks, and I'm talking about the gas trucks. I'm not talking about the diesels. Okay, Ford diesels, the 6.0. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the gas engines. Okay, so those are my top 2 picks of trucks that you should pick up if you're looking to get into a truck. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you guys check out my rest of the videos. Subscribe, hit the like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Leave me a comment. It helps with engagement. And if you're so inclined, pick up a shirt at automechanicclub.com or donate to the PayPal link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Like always, take care. It's running here.
Okay.
Clear? Beautiful. They're a little round. And then move the little square.
Go time!
Let me see if I can go ahead, do it again. Just fuck around, move around.